What's up? I'm Parker with Peanut Grip Co, and today we're going to talk a little bit about set logistics. Now in the last 6 or 7 years, I've learned quite a few things about moving things around set, what to do, what not to do, and I'm going to share a little bit of it with you today. So I've got our set kind of laid out here, kind of explain what everything is real quickly, and then we'll go through how people and equipment moves around set. But behind the set, where all of the money and paperwork, office-like things happen, is at the PO, which stands for production office. At the PO is where all of the mail gets delivered, where all the checks are cut, where the costumes usually has their lockup, and the grips might have their lockup there too. Getting stuff to and from the PO is very important. These are the vehicles. They're controlled by the transportation department. It's very important that you are kind to the transportation department because they're how you get around. Otherwise, you'll be walking and you'll be pretty miserable and tired all of the time. Be nice to the transportation department. They are your friends. We have vans, shorties, and snake beds. Now, van is a passenger van. It's good for moving people, small things like mail, and film break, small amounts of wardrobe or costumes. Snake beds are great for moving larger stuff, like pallets of water, lots of crafty, cable, like electrical cable. Use snake beds for that. And shorties are good for when stuff can't get wet or exposed to the elements. If it's a nice day, we can probably put them in a snake bed, but if it's not a nice day, we're definitely going to want to put them in a shorty. Now, this says shorty 40, and shorties aren't always 40 feet long, but if it's a 40-foot truck, it's probably a shorty. Here's a set. This is where the cameras are. As close as we can get to the set, usually we're going to park the working trucks. These are the trucks with all the everyday equipment, like the dollies, the camera truck, the greens department truck, if they have that. All the tools and equipment we need to make the set run is put in the working trucks for set operations. That's very important for location managers to understand, is that the working trucks need to be close to set, because otherwise you're using more trucks to get stuff to set. From the working trucks, we have base camp, which is where all the big trucks park, like the 3 rooms with the cast, the hair and makeup, the big grip truck, if you have a big grip truck, the big electric truck. Sometimes they'll even cram catering in there too. And if it's a big enough base camp, you can get crew parking and extras parking in there as well. Usually these are in different locations though. Both the extras and the crew don't usually park together, and sometimes you can't fit them at base camp at all. It just depends on where you end up. Catering though, almost always is going to be at base camp, or if it can be with the new contracts, it'll be closer to the set. So here's how kind of moving around stuff set works. In the morning, most everything will start at the production office, and it'll make its way over to base camp. The big trucks will, the snake beds, and the shorties will more than likely hang out at base camp. And the vans will shuttle people. And imagine there's more than one of these vans. There's lots of these vans. We'll shuttle people to catering, to base camp, from base camp to set, base camp to the working trucks, base camp to the working trucks. And then by the time Parker gets there, he'll park at crew parking, maybe. Maybe he'll park at base camp. Who knows? Depends on how much room there is. But Parker will take a van to base camp, where he will load equipment, played by this speed wrench. He will load equipment into a stake bed. And from that stake bed, he'll either ride with the stake bed or in his own van to go to the working trucks. Once we're at the working trucks, we can offload the stake bed, and the stake bed has freed up to move something else. So these can go back away. They can continue to move people, maybe, and then, if costumes calls and they have a whole bunch of wardrobe to move from the PO, this shorty might go all the way to the PO to get the costumes. And then they'll be loaded up and it'll come all the way back to base camp. These are important things to know because there's not always vans, shorties, stake beds available for your taking. Transportation usually does a pretty good job of having stuff available, but just know there are other factors other than what's happening here. If it's your first day on set, I suggest that you park at crew parking. From there, you should take a van to catering. Get yourself something to eat. From there, you should take another van, right? You would get out, right? Another van would come. You would get back in this van. You would take this van to wherever you were required to show up. Be that base camp, if you're a base camp PA, maybe check in with the ADs, or if you're a grip, take it to the working trucks or the big truck to get your radio, but probably the working trucks. And eventually, you should end up here on the set to do the work.